The Golden Eagles of Oral Roberts don't play a whole lot of home games until this time of the season. Now that we're in conference play in Northwestern State's Demons here tonight, ORU gets to play one at home for every one they play on the road, and that's a good thing. Bob Carpenter, Brendan Manzer, welcome to the Mabee Center. Couple of nice wins on the road, and between tonight and Saturday, we'll see the two other best teams in this league other than the Eagles.
Yeah, a great road trip for Oral Roberts in Louisiana last weekend, but even though they're home, it gets tougher because, as you said, play Northwestern State tonight, and then you've got a very, very good team, which you're familiar with, Stephen F. Austin, coming in Saturday. First things first, they have to protect the home floor here this evening.
And I'm familiar because I saw both of these teams down in Norman. These guys almost beat the Sooners. Stephen F. Austin did. Let's talk about some featured players. Daquan Hicks doesn't start. He has not started a game all year, and he leads them in points and rebounds.
It's amazing. He is third in the country in points per 40 minutes. That's absolutely outstanding. Scores on all areas of the floor. He's a 4, but he can shoot and take you inside. Mike McConaughey's got a good one in him. He's a JUCO transfer from New Mexico Junior College.
And these guys play awfully fast. Will ORU be able to pound it inside to Damon Bell-Holter? How about this? 61 points, 21 rebounds in 2 conference games right now.
Scott Sutton challenged him over the Christmas break, and I would say he accepted and then excelled at that challenge. He was terrific last week, as you mentioned. They definitely need to have a big game out of him. He provides a different look that you don't necessarily see at this level, a guy that can post you up inside. He, too, can step out at times and knock down shots from the perimeter. All
right, every night when we do these, Brendan has keys to the game. These guys like to play really, really fast.
Yeah, they want this game, Northwestern State, to be a quick-paced game, one of the tops in all of America in terms of possessions per basketball games. And then also, Bob, Niles and Bell-Holter, with Stephen Roundtree still out with that leg injury, those two guys are the most explosive scorers for this basketball team. If they can make one of those guys have a subpar performance, they could get a victory here on the road.
And for the Eagles now, a chance to come home. And when you play a team that's quick, you better get back on defense.
Well, Scott Sutton wants to get back, prevent those transition buckets, and then get his sound defense set up so they can get a half-court defense opportunity. And then second chance opportunities tonight, Bob, will be very crucial. Northwestern State, 15 offensive rebounds per basketball game, so Oral Roberts is going to have to keep them off the glass. They shoot 46% from the floor. Big reason, because they get second chance points.
Basketball has almost become secondary this week in the ORU family upon the loss of our beloved Patsy Sutton, and the funeral will be tomorrow here in Tulsa. Brendan, both in Stillwater and here in Tulsa, you've had a great relationship with this family. What did Patsy mean to you?
Well, obviously, it's a tremendous loss, and I can honestly say this, one of the great people, Bob, ever to walk this face of the earth, and made a tremendous impact on many, many people, and we'll miss her very much.
As great as the Sutton family has been in basketball for many, many years, Patsy was the rock. She was the base. She was the glue that held it all together. In loving memory of Patsy, we bring you ORU Hoops tonight.
Coach Sutton did come tonight. Coach Sutton did come tonight.
Northwestern State is 9-4 on the year. They're 3-0 in the Southland Conference. And they have been impressive. They've beaten McNeese State. They've beaten Lamar. They've beaten Sam Houston. And now they try to pull off one on the road. Eagles in their home whites. Opening tip. The officials are Andrew Walton, who threw it up. Jeff Malum, a former TU hoopster, by the way. And Brent Moe. And here come the Demons. We'll see what they do in the half court because they love to get up and down the floor. And ORU opens up in man. Immediately the takeaway. Warren Niles to the left wing.
Obviously, ORU wants to get in that half-court defensive set, Bob. It was built in because of the tip right there, but that's the challenge for them. Get back in transition where they can get that defense set up. Northwestern State not as comfortable in the half-court offensive set as they are in transition.
Yeah, Niles was looking for Bell Holter. Their good front job by Marvin Frazier, their 5 guy. Shot clock at 7. Niles double team for a moment. Right side Glover. Little bit long. Damon Bell Holter with a rebound, and he'll draw the foul. Offensive rebounding resulting in a foul on Patrick Robinson.
And we mentioned in the open the keys for Oral Roberts keeping Northwestern State off the offensive glass because they're very good attacking there. But the other side of it, a weakness for the Demons is defensive rebound. You can get second chance opportunities against them.
Oh, that's a deep entry pass, and up and in, Sean Glover, coming off a 9-point game at Nicholls State.
Again, with Roundtree not available for Oral Roberts, you have Bell Holter, you have Niles, and then Glover is that third scoring complement for the Golden Eagles.
And Roundtree might be back this weekend, but I was talking to John Joslin, the ORU trainer. They want to make sure he's 100% before they put him on the floor against a tough defensive team like Stephen F. Austin. Damon Bell Holter now has a rebound at each end of the floor. Well, he's just been playing some great basketball. And when you got the big guy down there to run everything through, it makes things on the perimeter a little bit easier. Another chance for the Eagles here. Down deep Niles, you let him get in there, he'll get a couple of points.
And that's the difference between Warren Niles now. He's not just a standstill shooter, added the ability to get to the basket, put it on the floor, and finish in the lane.
Northwestern State has to call a timeout immediately. It comes a minute 47 into the game with ORU on top by 4.
Coach McConaughey, I'm certain, is talking to Bob about what you mentioned, the offensive rebounding. Oral Roberts, both buckets come off second chance opportunities. And that is something that, as you see Coach Sutton talking with the official, that's something that his staff talked to their players about in terms of attacking that offensive glass.
And it's good to see a smile from Scott Sutton. There's Mike McConaughey. In his 14th year with the Demons, 30th year overall. He was 16 years at junior college at Bossier Parish. And quite a week, of course, for Scott and for Sean. I saw both of them with smiles on their face, and their mom would have wanted them to be in the gym and on the bench coaching this game tonight.
Without question, that's absolutely accurate.
Pack Iron, another rebound. Bell Holter, ORU out rebounding the Demons 4-0, and Damon has 3 of those. Niles, right baseline. Looked like a pretty good pull-up. A little bit long with it. He'll get another shot here, and he'll feed the post with Damon Bell Holter, who has been unstoppable lately.
And it's happening at both ends. You see what he's done on the glass so far, and then right there burying the defender deep in the lane. And really, it's Bell Holter becoming more assertive on the offensive end.
Oh, that's going back the other way on a charge by Daquan Hicks. Talked about him during the open. He's averaging 15 points, 7 rebounds a game, and a very athletic 6'7" junior. He's actually a Wisconsin kid out of Racine, and then he played junior college ball in New Mexico. Great start for ORU, 2.5 minutes in.
It is, and now they'll see the full court pressure. As we mentioned, the Demons, Bob, want to get this game fast-paced, get it up and down the floor, not only because they're better at that, that's what they do, but they have an advantage in depth as well. Play 10 guys, 15 minutes or more a game.
Glover angling that pass. Bell Holter on his way down the paint. He might have been grabbed on the way. And looks like maybe a Demon deflected that ball. No foul, ORU will keep it with 21 to shoot.
Yeah, good spacing right there. You basically have 4 out, 1 in with Bell Holter inside. trying to emphasize that, get him his touches here in the early going.
They let Niles get in deep again, and then recovering to knock it over the baseline, Bryson White. Finally, the outlet to Brandon Conley. DJ Jackson, redshirt freshman, good job of running the point lately. Catch and shoot, Niles, a little bit short. Oh, what a tip! They're going to give it to number 5, Brandon Conley, who averages 6 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple of assists per game, and a 3 at the other end.
You can't celebrate offensive buckets against this basketball team, Bob. They're going to advance the ball quickly right back at you, whether you make or you miss your shots.
And that's James Holman, a 6'8" senior, who also doesn't start, but he's tied for the lead in rebounds at 7 a game, and he scores 11 points a game. They have an amazing bench, if they really are bench players.
Basically has 10 starters. And I wonder if any of these guys ever wonder if they could get more minutes, what their stats would be. But this is the system here. Play lots of guys, bench strength, wear their opponents down.
High risk backhand pass by DJ Jackson on the back cut there. From the left side. 3 ball nestles in. That's Jalen West, a redshirt freshman, local kid out of Bossier City down in Louisiana. And he scored nearly 2,100 points in his high school career.
Redshirted last year. There was a clearinghouse issue with the NCAA, and in the long run, it may end up being a blessing because getting that red shirt year, obviously, you can benefit from that.
Now that's an open shot. Bellholzer will get the assist on DJ Jackson's 11th 3 of the year, and he's shooting nearly 20, actually 50% out there. Back cut, nicely done on a no-look pass. Bad angle underneath, and ORU picks it up with a rebound by Bellholzer, who continues to dominate things down there. Little long on the 3. Great rebound, Glover. You kind of wish the NSU guy would have touched that ball. It would have been goaltending. It was on its way down. So 4 minutes and 41 seconds in. Eagles off to a great start. Couple of threes for Northwestern State. And ORU leads it early, 11-6. Here in Tulsa, the Crown Plaza, the official hotel of Golden Eagle Athletics. Right across the street from ORU, the Crown Plaza, newly renovated, offers an ORU rate for Golden Eagle fans. Give them a call at 918-492-5000. The Crown Plaza sponsors ORU Athletics. Eagles are 5 out of 11. NSU beyond the arc 2 for 4. And hard to imagine what's going through Eddie's mind as he watches his son's coach on a very emotional night here in Tulsa.
It is, but as you said, both with Scott and Sean, Patsy certainly would want them to continue coaching and would want Coach Sutton here. One great thing, though, Bob, is he's surrounded by family. You couldn't see them all right there. They're all right here in Tulsa, and it's, I know, a big strength to all of them to have each other. What a really, really good family they are, and obviously they need each other right now.
Shamir Davis on the handle for Northwestern State. Little floater, short with it. Ball kind of palmed down to the floor by O.J. Evans. And then another chance from the left side. Nobody was able to box out Marvin Frazier right there.
And all the ORU coaches right there, Bob, jumped up off the bench and just yelled, box out. You can't get in a jumping contest with the athletes of Northwestern State. They're too good on the offensive glass.
By the way, that's their first 2-point basket. And those early threes were big for them. They tried to front Damon Bell-Holter that time. Marvin Frazier will get the foul. They were shooting 25% beyond the arc in conference play, so for them to hit a couple of early threes, a way for them to hang around with ORU right now.
Right there, Bob, as you mentioned, a high-low. Oral Roberts continuing to keep the floor well spaced, isolating him inside. We've seen some post-entry passes from the wing, and right there, great high-low look against the Demons.
Damon, by the way, shooting 80% from the line in conference play with that make. Man, you get this guy to January, all of a sudden he starts doing everything. Not to mention the shots blocked lately. ORU doing a little double teaming on the wing there, switching into the hands of Patrick Robinson down deep. And it looked like Brandon Conley. That'll be his first.
It was Conley, and Conley just lost sight of the basketball. Two things you have to understand when you're playing defense. Obviously, know where the guy you're guarding is, but just as important is understand where the basketball and be able to see it, because that obviously is going to dictate your defensive positioning. Conley just lost sight of the basketball.
Mikey Mangum checks in, the redshirt junior from England originally. 3 points in each of his first 2 conference games. ORU wins on the road. 4 points now for Marvin Frazier. 12-10 Eagles. Into the hands of DJ Jackson. 2-man game in the backcourt with Sean Glover. Mangum trying to get to the corner. And a good deflection there with the long reach by Gary Stewart, a 6'4" junior.
When you face their pressure, Bob, you've got to get into your sets quickly. And how you're going to beat that pressure is off the pass. In that case, Glover, too much dribbling out front. You got to get the ball to those open spaces.
Niles, everywhere he goes, Patrick Robinson staying with him. Mangum feeding right side. Glover turns into a pass for Damon Bell-Holter. Looks like a clean block, and it must have hit Damon on the way back down because the ball goes over to the Demons.
Demons did a great job right there, just staying straight up and down, not leaving their feet as Bell-Holter tried to attack the rim.
Well, Scott's team off to a quick start. A couple of threes got them going, and then kind of a loose ball picked up. O.J. Evans' first basket. He came flashing right down the paint to tie the game.
That's the thing about Northwestern State. You can go on runs yourself, but they can get back into a game awfully quick.
Bell-Holter the follow. Can't knock in the second chance point. A very makeable shot. And Shamir Davis back the other way for Northwestern State. He'll kick it to the wing. Robinson on top to Frazier. Trying to get it back to the point guard, but Mikey Mangum playing some denial around that three-point line. Now a good hedge out there by Bell-Holter. Shot clock inside 15. Turnaround jumper, Bell-Holter. He is a wide load right now. Jackson down deep. Niles in transition. Second basket for Warren, averaging a team-leading 20 a game all year and 24 a game in conference play.
Nice job of Jackson right there, pushing the basketball, but at the same time having patience, letting the play develop. Good job by the freshman.
Warren Niles, by the way, 24 a game in conference play, not even close to leading the team in scoring the way Damon Bell-Holter's going. Little scoop there, Shamir Davis short. And Bell-Holter is going to get a double-double tonight, I guarantee you.
He may have it in about 2 minutes.
Niles, little floater. Bell-Holter, a rebound and 2 more. 5 points for him. He's on pace for about a 20-rebound night.
Yeah, and it's not just the defensive glass, Bob. He's attacked the offensive glass. I think if I were Northwestern State at some point, I would put a body on him.
I got a couple of early numbers for you here, Brendan. 10 second chance points for ORU. Damon Bell-Holter in 8 minutes and 9 seconds has 9 rebounds. So we have the 12-minute media timeout, and the Eagles back on top by 4. Damon Bell-Holter, nobody in this league able to handle him on the boards. ORU 16-12. Eagles on top by a count of 16-12 early. And the Hilton Garden Inn, a 10-minute drive from Oral Roberts University. A 4-star facility offering free internet and a daily hot made-to-order breakfast. Next time you're in Tulsa, stay at the Hilton Garden Inn, a 2012 Community Service Leader Hotel of the Year. Only thing Damon Bell-Holder's done negatively was get that foul as we went into that last whistle, but he's dominating the glass right now.
And he has, but as you saw right there, as he flowed into the screen in that play, Bob, there was no Northwestern State players in the vicinity of where he is. You have to go find him and get a body on him, root him out.
I was just about to ask you, so what did they talk about at the shoot-around today? Because that had to be, if not number 2, number 1 on their priority list. You know, you got Niles and Bell-Holter, the outside, the inside. You got to focus on those two guys.
Yeah, and surely they want other guys to step up and beat them, because you have Stephen Roundtree still out with the leg injury. And other than Bell-Holter and Niles, it's Glover only that can score with any consistency.
Wow. That is Daquan Hicks, 15 a game. He's a very athletic 6'7" junior. Originally committed to Missouri State out of New Mexico Junior College. Ended up in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Well, he's athletic, he can shoot it, and then obviously, as you saw right there, he can also put it on the deck.
Glover keeping his pivot foot still. Got it off for Conley. A lot of traffic in there. And that time they do a good job of grabbing the rebound with Holben. We have a whistle as somebody took a poke in the eye. Looks like Brandon Conley. He'll go to the bench, and Damon Bell-Holter, after a very brief breather, back onto the floor. Left-handed dribble and a turn. Robertson stopped, but then fouled. That'll be Corey Bilberry, the redshirt freshman who just checked in, his first.
And you can tell the difference offensively, Bob, when Northwestern State has to work their offense in the half-court set versus when they can get out and run. Just different flow and confidence to the way they play on the offensive end.
Bilberry came close to creating a turnover there. Then the runner by Bryson White, his first 2. He's a Wichita kid out of North High School. We're back even at 16.
And that's where also they can hurt. A broken play where you gamble and don't succeed, giving them gaps to penetrate.
Glover double team off the hands of Niles, and Warren Niles takes a shot on that 50-50 ball. It looks like one of the NSU defenders ran into his elbow or his shoulder there.
Yeah, he's still slouched over on the bench. See right there, it's like he's holding the top of it, top of that shoulder.
John Joslin, a lot of years with the Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center here, the ORU trainer. That one is knocked in, and that's a 3. And that's number 33, James Holben, with his second of the game. He's coming off a 14-point game with 8 boards Monday night at Sam Houston State. Demons on the run, and nobody was able to find Daquan Hicks on the break. And Scott Sutton's going to need a timeout. Well, we talked about how fast these guys can play, and that's 5 points as quick as you can get them.
They're going to put a lot of runs on you. And the challenge, I think, is extending the runs that you have, like Oral Roberts had at the beginning of the game, Bob, being able to extend those as long as possible. And then the other side of it is they're going to get runs on you, 8-2 runs, 6-0 runs. But can you be mature enough on the floor to make plays to stop their momentum? But great ball movement. We've talked about transition offense versus what they do in the half-court set. There's a prime example of a turnover, quick shots, those type of things, how it allows Northwestern State to get out and run. They share the ball well, advance the ball well up the floor, and then they finish.
So they embark on a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes. And Brendan, of course, before the game started, identified transition defense for ORU as one of the keys in this game. They're averaging 79 a game in conference play, ORU 81. They're giving up 62, the Eagles 68. So a great timeout by Scott Sutton to stop some quick momentum they grabbed and give everybody a chance to maybe put their hands on their hips and get a breather here.
And one of the things that he doesn't have are veteran guards, and it's more difficult for a freshman guard group. You got Bill Burry, you have Jackson, you have Conley. Those guys, you worry about them, Bob, over the course of games, seeing constant pressure that's going to be at them the entire 40 minutes. And they'll handle it well at times, but typically teams, when they're able to make runs at you, it happens so quickly.
We're told that they're checking the most recent three-point shot by James Holben. That was hit a minute ago, giving him 2 threes for the night, if indeed it was a 3. And this is one of those situations where they would have to have inconclusive evidence to turn it over. And we are told that he was toes behind the line, so Holben's okay for 6 and a 5-point NSU lead. And of course, they're going to treat every make, field goal, or free throw with full court pressure. DJ Jackson on a feed straight ahead.
Good job right there, Oral Roberts, running their press breaker, get the ball in bounds, and you have 2 cutters.
Not exactly a crisp bounce pass from DJ Jackson. ORU lucky to keep it.
Yeah, you better be careful with the bounce passes against the Demons. The bounce pass, obviously a slower, much slower pass than chest pass.
Yeah, you better make hard cuts against these guys and get the ball to those cutters quickly. Belholter, who's going to stop him? Damon, 7 points of ORU's 18 here to go along with his 9 rebounds.
Just playing so well, assertive, aggressive, demanding the ball. You can see he's showing his hands to receive it.
Good penetration by the big man. That's 33 Holben, setting up the basket for Daquan Hicks. And those 2 guys have 12 points off the bench.
They're both long and athletic. You know, we were talking about Northwestern State putting a body on Belholter. Oral Roberts has gotten away from doing a good job on the defensive glass that they had earlier in the game.
Away from the ball, Bryson White with his first. ORU will check Glover back in. Also Warren Niles, who has 4 points early. Warren's had 18 and 29 in his first 2 conference games, so they're keying on him right now with Bryson White. Niles trying to get lost around a pick there. Oh, another foul. Gary Robertson on that one. They played just about everybody in their rotation already in the first 11 minutes. Niles again trying to get lost around a pick, and he does to receive that inbounds pass. Guy who threw it to him, Jackson. Glover, nobody came out to get him. He takes the deuce. Sean Glover's second basket, and he is shooting nearly 50%.
Good decision right there. They went into the lap of Belholter, not to allow the pass. Makes a good shot.
Daquan Hicks again. He's coming off a double-double at Sam Houston State. 24 points, 13 boards, and 4 assists on the road.
Now, I know this is the system, Bob, of Mike McConaughey, but Hicks is only playing 21 minutes a game.
He's got to play 35 minutes for me.
you know,
maybe 32.
And rotate those 9 guys in those other 4 spots.
Well, here you go, Coach. 5 new guys coming in right now. The Demons, by the way, as I mentioned, they've won all 3 of their conference games. The other thing they're doing with this helter-skelter game, they're managing to take care of the ball. They're averaging only 12 turnovers a game their last 6. Any coach in America would be happy with only 6 turnovers per half. Glover worked hard to get open. They had Damon Belholter boxed out there on the rebound by Gary Stewart.
And Scott Sutton mentioned that, Bob, to me earlier today, how well they take care of the basketball. And as I say that, they throw it out of bounds off Oral Roberts. But he said that's what makes it difficult. They play in a way that puts you in a hurry. But on the other side of it, they take care of it and don't allow you a lot of opportunities.
Right. Well, there are some teams that play fast. They can play themselves into a game and they can play themselves out of a game. These guys haven't been doing the latter. Rebound by Glover. Sean averaging 4 a game on the glass. Mangum. Nobody open. Somebody's got a flash for the pass, and it's Niles. Jackson for Glover. One-touch passing inside. Bellholter, right block, never got there. This time the Eagles get back, and that looked like a block by Mangum, and then running the floor to clean it up, Patrick Robinson.
Great job of Robinson. That's what you want to do as a player. Always assume, as you're trailing a potential layup, that they're going to miss. Robinson continued to flow down the floor, makes a great play.
A Demon to the floor, looks like an illegal pick. And if that's a moving pick on Bellholter, that's his second. So, some concerns here in the first half. Bellholter, 2 fouls. ORU down by 7 with 7:18 to go. Eagles are down by 7. You can watch the ORU Sports Report Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 23 in Tulsa, or Cox Channel 3, or 703 at 9 p.m. Wednesdays. The ORU Sports Report, the latest Golden Eagle highlights, interviews, and features. And you can also listen to the Misty Cusson and Scott Sutton shows Tuesdays at 6 on 97.1 FM, The Sports Animal, or join us live from Tres Amigos at 81st and Lewis. Meet the coaches and catch up on the latest news from Golden Eagle Athletics. Bob Carpenter, Brendan Manzer, right now, a rather subdued Navy Center, watching Northwestern State on the road, keeping their poise early and making some good things happen. Niles will come up with that. Can he possibly score or get to the line in all that traffic? And he will.
Well, great defense right there. Pressuring the one pass away up in the passing lane, uses the correct hand. And that's big there because you come out of a timeout, down 7, struggling on the offensive end, turning the ball over too much. And one way to get the lid off the basket sometimes, he misses the first one, is to get yourself to the foul line and make a defensive play to do that.
Niles is shooting. High 80s from the line. 8 for 11 in conference play. That one nestles in for his 5th point of the night, and the Eagles back to within 6. Driving the baseline, getting to a bad angle. On the miss, Gary Stewart. Ball hits the baseline and evidently still belongs to the Demons.
You see off the made free throw right there, even, Bob, advancing the ball with the pass quickly down the right-hand side and then quickly attacking the goal. You have to get back, even on makes against this basketball team.
Well, I'm sure Brendan Manzer would do that if he knew he was coming out in 2 or 3 minutes, no matter what he does. There's a 3 ball from Shamir Davis. They have 8 players who've scored now. I mean, why not play hard and run fast? Because you know you're coming out. Another 5 is at the table.
And that was one of the problems last year, Bob, for Northwestern State. They didn't have the bench that they typically had in years past, so that hurt them. Now he's returned to that form with this basketball team.
They were a 500 club last year, 16-16, 8-8 in the league. Off the miss, Mangum running. Ball slapped away on a reach-in foul by Shamir Davis. ORU's only committed 14 fouls, 2 of them on Damon Bell-Holter. That'll be the Demons' 7th. And this is a 2-shot foul anyway, but they are in the bonus, ORU. And at the line, Mikey Mangum. Only 2 free throws this year. He's made them both.
Oral Roberts at the line again. Last time, Niles at the line. Northwestern State pushes in transition, and talk so much about this, Bob, but it's very key that Oral Roberts can get this into a half-court game. As I asked Scott Sutton, how much do you want to screw this game down today? He said, I don't want to completely put the brakes on, because they do allow you opportunities to score because they gamble on defense. But you have to be able to read tempo. But regardless of the tempo of the game, they need to get defensive half-court set up, slow it down there, not only because of the pace, but also the Demons aren't as efficient.
With that miss, ORU 2 for 6 at the line. That's a quick jack on a 3. Damon Bell-Holter now has a double-figure rebounding game, the 7th time he's done that this year, and he's well on his way to his 4th double-double. Nice switch to the left hand by Corey Bilberry, the redshirt freshman from Booker T right here in Tulsa. At the other end, a quick answer by Bryson White.
Can't celebrate.
Nope.
Oral Roberts slow to get back in transition. These guys aren't messing around.
Eagles down by 9 again. Bilberry, ball knocked away from behind. On a reach around, and DJ Jackson checks back in at the point. As Mangum, who missed a couple of free throws, will take a seat. Couple of unbeaten teams in conference play. Eagles 2-0. Demons are 3-0. With 2 home wins and a road win at Sam Houston State, their big rival. Conley. Little high-low action there, and the long reach of Daquan Hicks got that deflection. He goes to the other end. That was a travel, as he had a hard time controlling the ball trying to make that pass.
Conley, that last offensive possession, Bob, rushed it right there. You don't want to force anything that's not there. The entry passes were coming a little bit easier earlier, but now Mike McConaughey's made the adjustment to get into lap of Bell-Holter. If it's not there, you've got to continue to reverse the ball and then just go to the next step. You cannot force the high-low if it's not there.
Jackson guarded by Jalen West. On the wing, Bilberry. Damon Bell-Holter has not had many touches lately. They're really fronting him well. Bilberry to Bell-Holter. Almost got the and one as he drew a foul from Gary Robertson. That'll be his 2nd.
And that was the patient I was talking about. You get a couple of ball reversals, and it's amazing just with some ball movement. It's just natural for the defense to shift, and therefore on the back end of that possession, you're going to find some windows. And even with backside help rotating over there, able to get the ball there quickly enough where Bell-Holter could have the angle to the rim.
Bell-Holter 8 points now. 70 points if he makes this one in his last 3 games. ORU not shooting free throws very well, but Glover comes up with a big offensive rebound. Got a basket here. You're back to within 2 possessions with 4:40 to go first half. Feeding the post. Bell-Holter again. There's the double-double, his 4th of the year. I didn't exactly go out on a limb when I said he was going to get that, did I?
Well, you were correct.
At the other end, a couple of caroms and a rebound by Warren Niles. ORU trying to come up with a bit of a run here. Niles got in trouble. Somebody's got to be open. And there were 2 guys down there. They didn't know if Glover or Bell-Holter were going to get that pass. In transition, they overshoot the layup as Daquan Hicks used the right hand from the left side. Is this an answer? 3 ball just rims out. Glover, great rebound. He'll shoot a couple. That'll get us to the 4-minute media timeout.
Demon foul 22, Bryson.
So Bryson White on that foul, and ORU down by as many as 9, down by 6 now with a chance to shoot when we bring it back to the Mabee Center. Coming up at halftime, the Golden Eagles, now members of the Southland Conference, the host of the Sports Report, Scott Higgins, sits down with the players and will get some insight as to what the men and women's teams think of this new conference and how well they can perform. Plus, Brenda and I will review the first half and give our analysis as we look ahead to the second half. That's all coming up at halftime tonight. So the building's come alive a little bit. ORU some good possessions. Such a luxury to have that big man for the dump down.
Well, they've tried to work high-low, and as you said, Bob, Northwestern State has taken that away. So the next step is get the ball flat along the baseline. Great entry pass right there. ORU now has made an adjustment and found other ways to get him the basketball. But again, the spacing is where it starts for Oral Roberts. That's been very good here so far tonight.
Well, the Eagles only 3 of 8 at the line so far. They need to get the lid off at that end. Wow. Not on your home court should you ever be 3 for 9 standing still.
And a team that coming into tonight has shot 76% as a basketball team from the line.
Yeah, they were 17 for 20 at Nicholls State. But they're back to within 5. They've slowed this thing down a little bit. Now they sit in a 2-3 zone.
Yeah, it's not something you see a lot from Scott Sutton, but he's trying to slow the pace of this game. Too easy right there.
Yeah, that rolled in for O.J. Evans. But again, that number I gave earlier, these guys are shooting 25% beyond the arc. So if you can plug up the inside, make them stand still and shoot some threes, you might have a shot.
Yeah, you got to work inside out, be solid on the defensive end.
Sean Glover off for Niles, little bumping out there on the hedge on the perimeter. Shot clock inside 15. They front Bell-Holter again. Great ball movement. Quite a swat by O.J. Evans. This guy's 6'9", a 220 senior from Mansfield, Louisiana, and that was one of the best swats we've seen. Although Coach Eddie Sutton would tell you, it's only a good block if you keep it in bounds. He used to talk to Brian Reeves about that all the time.
Absolutely. If you watch a guy like Jeff Withey of Kansas, who's one of the top shot blockers in the country, most of his stay in play, and then Jayhawks are off and running.
Jackson on the wing, and a huge 3 for Sean Glover. ORU back to within 4.
Well, with Niles being relatively quiet, struggling from the floor this half, Bob, nice to see Glover step up and knock down a big shot.
That's ORU's second make beyond the arc in 6 attempts. 4 for 9 are the Demons, so they've had a pretty decent night shooting the ball from long range. Brandon Conley back in for ORU. You know, I was about to say, when ORU was shooting some free throws, how long do you leave Damon Bell-Holter in playing with 2 fouls? Because if he gets a third before halftime, that is a blow. So he's out right now.
Well, that's a feel thing. I mean, you don't want this game to get away from you. Sure. Obviously, they're very much in it, just being 4 down, now 7.
Shamir Davis, his second 3 of the night. He had 20 against Louisiana Tech in December. He is a senior out of Shreveport who can score the ball.
Also on that decision-making for coaches, Bob, it's can you trust the defender who has those 2 fouls to get out of the half with just those 2.
Foul away from the ball on Patrick Robinson. And the good thing for this, and ORU, they get to shoot. Damon Bell-Holter is at the table to shuttle back in, evidently. As Glover, who's had a good first half with 8 points, takes his 76% free throw shooting to the stripe. He's 1 point away from his 11th double-figure game of the year, and he's been double-figure 7 of his last 8. So Bell-Holter back in.
And you can go back with him. He's a senior. I think that goes back to that trust. I also wouldn't be surprised if Coach Sutton stays in that zone to protect him a little bit.
Yeah, good call. Free throw still struggling a bit. ORU 5 out of 11 at the line.
They go back man.
37-31. Bell-Holter down there guarding Marvin Frazier. They were looking for him for a moment. Ball caught in traffic. Nothing there for Shamir Davis. Shot clock at 10. Big time rejection. Brandon Conley with the shot clock at 5.
A nice athletic play right there from Conley.
Having to take a quick shot, nothing new for NSU here. Out to the perimeter for Shamir Davis. He'll jack one up from the free throw line and bank it, missing badly. Sean Glover pulls down the rebound. Good defensive stop with just over 90 seconds to go.
And if you're Oral Roberts, get a couple good looks to close out the half, a couple defensive stops, and see where that leads you.
Deep catch, Bell-Holter again. Damon Bell-Holter, 12 points with 10 rebounds in the first half.
And what Oral Roberts did is they cleared out the weak side, Bob, took out the built-in weak side help. That's the way they were able to get the basketball from that angle inside to Bell-Holter.
This is a 4 to 5 minute sequence of solid basketball by the Eagles, and then Patrick Robinson answers with a 3 on a very tough shot. They've made 5 out of 10 beyond the arc, and they were shooting 25%.
Yeah, you certainly didn't expect that.
This is just a team that's hard to figure. They do so many different things. They don't do all of them great. Glover whips it right side. Niles.
Big shot, Bob, and now what you have is a 2-for-1. Get a stop. You might have 4 or 5 seconds to get something down on the other end. First things first, tough half-court man right here. Be solid if you're Oral Roberts. Get you a defensive stop.
Yeah, just over a 2-second difference in the clocks. Eagles back to within 3. Niles, by the way, 8 points in the half. With that make, DJ Jackson trying to be tough on Shamir Davis. Shot clock inside 10. They'll switch it. There's a steal. Niles. Cut off well by Davis. Stepping through. Got it! And it'll be a 1-point game at the half. So ORU makes a big-time comeback to make it 39-38 as Warren Niles comes alive with a late happening double-figure first half. Well, you know, they're going to make a couple threes here and there, NSU. I don't know how many they'll make all night long, but what a big answer by Niles, who gets the 3, and then after the turnover keeps his poise and knocks down the deuce.
That's the key word, I think, is poise. We've talked about it all first half. Northwestern State, they're going to put some runs on you, but if you're patient and tough, stick to what you do, you're going to have those type of opportunities. But that was a great finish for Oral Roberts to close out the half, because not only you get yourself back within 1 point, obviously, but you have some serious momentum heading into halftime. As we mentioned, Warren Niles had hit a 3 on the previous possession, and they had an opportunity maybe for a 2-for-1. Now, it's not the conventional way that we thought they would get a defensive stop, Bob, but they go down the other end. He gets the steal, makes a great offensive play, and you have a 1-point game.
Hey, when you've struggled in the first half and the other team's done some things on your floor that are unexpected, nothing like a little momentum in the last 30 seconds or so. A look around the Southland Conference when we come back. It's 39-38, Northwestern State of Louisiana. Mangum is open. back in the 2001 season, and the previous game was in '88. So ORU trying to do something against this school they've never done before, and that's beat them. Open look, Warren Niles. Boy, they lost him. You're going to pay a price for that. You kidding me?
Hey, you can't lose a 49% three-point shooter after one pass on the offensive end.
Niles first half 4 for 10. 1 for 3 beyond the arc. Bryson White checks in with his 5th and 6 points. And they're going to get a turnover right in front of their bench. You cannot relax against these guys.
It's kind of funny, those first 2 possessions, how easy the shots were right after the last segment. You said the team that plays the best defense will probably win. Not a good start for either team right off the bat.
Well, coaches will tell you one of the most important sequences of the game, first 4 minutes out of the locker room. James Holman, left wing, he's hit a couple of threes. He'll go with the runner that rims out, and Damon Bell-Holter pulls down his 11th rebound. 12 points to go with that. He's the trailer on the secondary break here. DJ Jackson. Niles, top of your screen, curls for a wing pass. On top, Glover. Bilberry, Jackson. One-touch passing, taken away. Good defense there by Daquan Hicks. Transition basket, booming that one in, James Holman, and that's 8 for him off the bench.
Yeah, points off turnovers. That is where Northwestern State was able to get that tremendous run midway through the first half. Oral Roberts didn't take care of the basketball, and they quickly turned it into points.
Glover got into the painted area, little short with the bank shot. ORU will get it back. And if there's one thing you can take heart in, the fact that the Eagles still have an 8+8 rebounding advantage here. Glover getting into the paint almost at will. Jackson back to him, left block. Glover working to get a shot. Good job by the officials, at least ORU feels, by letting them play on. And that's 11 for Sean Glover.
And I'm not sure why Hicks flopped right there, because he had the size advantage over Glover, and that gave him a free look at the basket. Really, he was in fairly good defensive position to make Glover make a tough shot. Basically flops and leaves him wide open.
First foul by DJ Jackson, who had 3 points, 3 assists in the first half. Deep entry pass, but going away from the ball was Daquan Hicks, and then a transition foul by the Demons, and that'll be on Gary Robertson. That'll be his 3rd. I hesitate to mention foul trouble for Northwestern State because he's going to be replaced anyway. I mean, they've got 50 fouls to give, basically.
It's funny you say that, because I was thinking the same thing. You rotate 10 guys, averaging at the bottom side 15 minutes, at the high side 26 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this down in Norman this year with OU. They play a lot of guys, and you can play great defense running 10 guys out there. Your challenge is rhythm and continuity at the offensive end.
I think the only way it can work is playing the way that a Northwestern State plays.
Yeah, good call.
You know, Mike Anderson at Arkansas, certainly the days that Nolan Richardson was at Arkansas as well. Those systems you can.
9 seconds to shoot for ORU. Out on top to Niles. I thought they were going there. It'll be a little shorter to Bell-Holter. Plenty of time here. Shovel to Glover. Good deep pass. Left-hander. And it's in for Warren Niles. And that's 15 for Niles, who has 5 points this half already. It looks like those 5 points at the end of the first half have really energized him.
Well, good interior ball movement right there. Bell-Holter to Glover, and then Glover understanding the clock situation, having enough time to dump down to Niles right there.
Really great one-touch passing. So the Eagles back up by 2 here. First 3 minutes out of the locker room. 2-man game, feeding the post, getting in deep. Strong move, Daquan Hicks, and that's double figures for him. He's had a couple of 20-point games this year.
That's a tough matchup for Glover, and then Glover very deep in the lane right there.
Where are they going to point? That's going to be on Bilberry going back the other way. Scott Sutton just looks at him and shakes his head. Took on too many guys there.
You're right there. The decision, Bob, is correct. The pass, the decision to make that pass is correct. What he did not do is you've got to slow down and or jump stop, which is a fundamental play that is eluding the game.
Yeah.
Right there, you just jump stop and make that same pass, you don't run into that problem. But he continued to flow down the floor, and a good call by the official.
Even at 45, 23 minutes into the game. Wow, he keeps hitting them. That's James Holben with his third three of the night out there. Came into this game shooting 31% on the year. There's big trouble. Glover trying to duck through that double team. They got to get this thing across the line, and they do, but it's taken away. Patrick Robinson. If Jackson doesn't make that pass, it would have been a backcourt violation anyway. That's a bullet pass. Quick on the turnaround. O.J. Evans too strong on the shot. Glover the rebound. And just that quickly, Northwestern State back on top by 3 with a quick 5-0 run. Down deep. Nobody can stop that. Damon Bell-Holter, first basket this half, 14 points tonight.
And what Bell-Holter is doing now, Bob, is he's thinking a pass or two ahead while he's trying to get position in there, and that's allowing the ease of the basketball to, in that case, go high-low.
Holben now, shaking and baking, finally misses one, and the rebound pulled down by Corey Bilberry. They'll angle to the wing now. Niles will put it on the floor, runs into his own man, DJ Jackson, keeping his dribble. Ooh, Glover had Bell-Holter open underneath for a moment. Wow, great poise. 13 for Sean, 2 above his average in conference play.
Yeah, great patient right there. Good job of keeping that right pivot foot solid until the opening came up.
Game on here, huh? Teams
Yeah.
trading blows. This is what January is all about, the intensity of conference play. Whether you know your new league very well or not. Off the dribble. That could be a 3-shot foul.
Golden Eagle foul 23, Corey Bilberry, Corey's third personal.
That'll be Corey Bilberry's third. And shooting 3 when we come back, Shamir Davis. Nearly 5 minutes out of halftime. ORU gathering themselves nicely. Down by 1 at the half, ahead by 1 right now, 49-48. Talked about the team trading blows, 5 ties, 6 lead changes so far. Big night in Tulsa. Next week, it's the annual ORU Baseball Diamond Dinner, Friday, January 18th at a new home, the Doubletree at 61st and Yale. This year's special guest, former All-Star closer with the Cardinals, pitcher Ryan Franklin. George Frazier will have an extended interview with him on stage. Lots of fun. For table sponsorships and individual tickets, call 918-495-6616. And if you like numbers for baseball, how about the number 15? That's the number of consecutive years ORU has won its conference championship in baseball. Amazing success over the years. Bob Carpenter, Brendan Manzer back at the Mabee Center. 5 minutes out of halftime. ORU's lead in jeopardy here as Shamir Davis will go to the line and shoot 3.
And Bob or Roberts, if they would just take care of the basketball. They have 4 turnovers already here the second half in just a little under 5 minutes. But they're 5 of 6 from the floor for 83%. So really the lesson here is take care of the basketball, and good things have happened almost every time for ORU. It's just easier said than done, certainly, when you play against the pace of Northwestern State, in addition to having young freshman guards in the backcourt for Scott Sutton's team.
7, 8, and maybe 9 points for Shamir Davis. He's coming off 15 against Lamar, 12 with 7 assists at Sam Houston State in their last game. That'll get him to 9 tonight. So ORU back down by 2, and there's another giveaway. Their 12th turnover tonight. Quick jack at the other end, 3 ball short. What a tip by Patrick Robinson. That's his 7th of the night, and these guys come at you in waves. Here's an ORU 3-on-2. Bell Holter on a no-look pass from Niles, and they had to foul him to stop him. That will be number 2 on Marvin Frazier.
Much better job of attacking the full court pressure right there. Possession before, Conley just sloppy with the basketball, and again another turnover for Oral Roberts, and again turns into points for Northwestern State.
Can't say enough about the way Damon Bell-Holter's playing for Scott Sutton. Had that costly technical foul in the second half on this floor against Tulsa when they were up 17 on December 22nd. It spurred a Tulsa run that took the Golden Hurricane to a win. Eagles continue to struggle at the line. For some reason, they're 5 out of 13 tonight. I guess it becomes mental after a while. Bell-Holter, 15th point. Didn't take the ball long to go 94 feet. Couple of shooters bounces. Bell-Holter rebounds it. Somehow, the pass got to Niles. High off the glass. Eagles keep it alive. Conley blocked. They're asking for a possession call. Looks like a clean block over the baseline. And that's good for ORU because a held ball would have been arrow the other way.
I tell you what Northwestern State does is they close space so quickly. They play with so much energy. And I think some of the ORU players on that possession, for example, think they've got a lay-in. But then they've got bodies 2 and 3 quickly right to you contesting your shot.
Long bodies with wingspan.
Athleticism.
Eagles down by 3, running down to the 14-minute mark. Mikey Mangum back in there. Left side, Niles. They fronted Bell-Holter too quickly. They're doing that with Marvin Frazier at 6'8". Here's DJ Jackson. He will duck through and take some contact.
That was a good offensive possession. Smart movement from Jackson, because here's what happens, as you mentioned, Bob. They do a good job defensively against Damon Bell-Holter. Well, then what you have to do is continue to move the basketball. Because of the space in Oral Roberts, there's opportunities to drive the gaps, and Jackson, good job right there, attacking the paint.
Marvin Frazier with his 3rd. Mangum gets it into Glover. He'll drive the baseline. Went after his own rebound and almost got it back. Transition, a flyer. Bryson White couldn't knock it in. Here come the Eagles. 2 Demons collide. This is a 5-on-2, now a 5-on-3. DJ Jackson with the triple, his 2nd of the night.
Jackson, a very efficient 3-point shooter, 46% on the year. And spotted up right there, squared up, straight up and down.
I was surprised the officials didn't blow the whistle at midcourt on an obvious reach-in. Turned out well for ORU as they got the 3 with a couple of guys getting themselves back up off the floor. Tie game now. And that's going to be an offensive foul. DJ Jackson got into the chops of Shamir Davis. And sometimes the officials will go to the table and look at a replay on one like that.
Yeah, they're going to look. Going to go to the replay on the clear out right there, saying Jackson potentially connected with the elbow. It's tough to see from our angle right here, Bob. The official will go see, number 1, if there was any contact above the shoulder. And then you get into the flagrant 1 or flagrant 2 foul. Flagrant 1 being unintentional. Flagrant 2 being intentional, and that's where they'll go the monitor and check. Number 1, see if there was a connection, which they believe there was, or they wouldn't have called the foul in the first place.
So our crew giving them whatever replay angles might be available.
Stephen F. Austin is the opponent. The ORU women tip at 5 o'clock.
Officials are done looking at it. Now they're talking it over. Andrew Walton and Brent Moe. By the way, the other officials, a local guy, Jeff Malum. Let's see what they saw. Keep your eye on number 12 and number 3. Arms coming up.
It was determined it was simply a
personal foul, nothing intentional or flagrant there.
Yeah, it's tough to see, but there was certainly nothing intentional. They were bumping each other, Bob, as you go down the floor, and Jackson right there, kind of a natural reaction.
And nobody dressed like that's going to be happy with a call like that. This is one of the most creative student sections as far as wardrobe you will ever see. Tough shot. Rolls over the rim, and Daquan Hicks has a dozen. What else is new? He averages 15 a game off the bench. Their leading scorer.
Boy, he's tough, and he does it in so many different ways. Right there, used the great adjective, tough, hung in the air.
Yeah.
Ability to shoot it soft enough to get it to go.
He'd be averaging 35 minutes and 30 points a game for head coach Brendan Manzer.
Hey, no question. Those other 4 spots will rotate you other 9 guys.
Mikey Mangum. Oh, great rebound. Damon Bellholter simply wanted the ball more than anybody else out there. That's a play that can win you a game.
Bellholter just playing with so much intensity right now, so much consistency and focus. You saw that last weekend in Louisiana, and you're seeing it here tonight in Tulsa. Just watch him root Hicks out right there, shoves him underneath the basket. Now, wow. Hicks is a man.
Yeah.
And so is Bellholter as he finishes a conventional three-point play. But as you said, Bob, Bellholter playing great basketball right now for Scott Sutton.
79 points now in 3 conference games. Daquan Hicks, dump down. Reverse layup, well done. Jalen West never put the ball on the floor. And the redshirt freshman from Bossier City has 5 points.
Yeah, that's way too easy offense.
8 minutes out of halftime, and we've got quite a conference game going here. Southland Conference, brand new for ORU, picked to win the league. Stephen F. Austin picked second, Northwestern State picked third. All 3 of those teams in display here in the next 48 hours. Jackson will go baseline. Got himself a great angle. DJ Jackson with 8 points.
And Jackson's starting to figure out, after little ball movement, if you can't get the interior touch to Bellholter, there's opportunity to penetrate.
22 points a game as a high school scorer at Archbishop O'Hara in Kansas City. 3-on-1, Glover the flush from DJ Jackson. Now don't celebrate, get back. ORU by 3. Well, things have slowed down here. They get NSU into a little half-court game here, and that's a good thing. Quick pass, they missed it. Glover off the miss by Daquan Hicks. ORU's biggest lead tonight, 8. Right now ahead by 3 with the ball. And 45 seconds away from the midway point, second half. Jackson for 3 now. A freshman is growing up. ORU by 6.
And you can see right now, Bob, Jackson at a confidence level that he's never been at on the collegiate level.
That might have been offensive goaltending had that ball gone in, but they didn't call it. That thing was on its way down, maybe in the cylinder, we'll see. Looked like ORU had a good stop, and then DJ Jackson, a reach-around foul. But what a nice sequence for him.
Yeah, a couple threes, great transition bucket. He threw off a dime a couple possessions ago, but here's this Three right here, Bob. Big one. DJ Jackson playing in a big way.
Hey, along the baseline last time. This time they didn't guard him. And from the double E of maybe center, it's a three. And the Eagles, 6 of 11 beyond the arc right now, up by 6.
Back here in the maybe center, Oral Roberts up by 6, mainly due to DJ Jackson. A couple threes here in the last few Oral Roberts possession. Right there, a dime in offensive transition, Bob.
Damon Bell-Holter, 15 rebounds to go with those 18 points. 8 boards for Sean Glover. Warren Niles, really good balanced scoring by ORU.
And Niles' scoring has been quiet here tonight. Early going, he struggled. I think he started about 2 for 8 from the floor.
By the way, those two guys leading the Demons in scoring, both, as we say, off the bench. Having a hard time considering them bench guys. Jumping into the lane with the ball, James Holben, right at Damon Bell-Holter. That'll be his third. That hurts.
Third foul, 10 minutes left. Scott Sutton leaving his senior in. Got to stay away from that fourth, Bob, here with the next few minutes.
We make note of the score. ORU up 63-57 at the time of that foul. Bell-Holter up at the top of that defense right now. Holben finally missing a three. I knew they had to cool off out there. They've missed a couple in a row. I mean, you don't know they're going to cool off, but it's just not on their resume to shoot that great from three-point range, and that's really nice. James Holben, 13 for him.
What a great touch pass right there from Hicks. Hicks looked like a second baseman turning a double play, got out of his hands right there quickly.
Yeah.
Good cross the lane pass.
Well, you are my kind of guy. You're a hoops guy and a baseball guy, and I appreciate the analogy. That's James Holben with his first. Patrick Robinson back on the floor for Northwestern State as Holben sits down, and that's okay with ORU the way he's been scoring. Conley out there with Bell-Holter, Niles, Glover, and Jackson.
Oral Roberts obviously hanging tough here, Bob. Remember Stephen Roundtree, one of their star players, still playing, or not playing because of injury. And I wonder down the stretch, I'm curious to see how ORU handles their conditioning because of the way Northwestern State plays. The depth that they have, will that depth wear down Oral Roberts over here this last 9 minutes?
Glover hooks it down to Bell-Holter. Oh, that's unlucky. That ball might have been on its way going in, and then it was tipped. Offensive goaltending.
It looked like the ball was tipped when Bell-Holter,
when he shot it, it was.
Shot it.
Yeah, changed directions, hit the glass, and looked like it might fall in. Hey, you can't fault a guy for making an effort at an offensive tip-in. Down to the baseline. Impossible angle for Gary Stewart. ORU gets the stop. 3-on-2, Niles, right wing. Look at that reverse dribble. Shot up an air ball, but Bell Holter's going to save it. So tough to know where a ball like that's going for a possible rebound. Glover, he's been penetrating from that right side all night. Back iron just a little bit long with that floater. On the handle, Shamir Davis. Third team All-Southland Conference as a junior last year running the point. Gets in deep. That guy can score. That's 11 for him. 2 under his average.
You get a flat hedge right there on the ball screen. If you get it flat with his speed and quickness, in addition going to the strong side, he is left-handed, you're going to be in trouble right there. You've got to hedge high and force him out further on the floor so your defense can recover.
Since Damon Bell Holter got his 3rd foul, 4-0 on the board for Northwestern State. Niles, look at him keep his dribble. Just kind of feeling his way around there. Couldn't get open. Shot clock at 7. Jackson will drive it. That was a long alley-oop pass, if that's indeed what it was, for Brandon Conley. And an ORU turnover will take us to the 8-minute media timeout. 7:19 remaining. Eagles unable to pull away, leading by 2. Next home game Saturday night, we'll televise. We'll continue our conference games right here. Stephen F. Austin will be here, 7:30 tip. Get your tickets. Log on to ORUGoldeneagles.com or call the Mabee Center ticket office at 918-495-6000. They have a point guard by the name of Hal Bateman, who's a 5'11 senior that gave Oklahoma headaches, and he'll do the same here on Saturday night. Stephen F. Austin may be the best team in the Southland along with ORU. Rebounding, Damon Bell Holter, the chairman of the boards without a doubt tonight.
Dominant. 16 rebounds, 6 of those on the offensive end.
18 points, 16 rebounds. Well, let's hope ORU can run like that guy down the stretch. To be honest with you, on this floor against OU and against TU, the Eagles have not been a good down the stretch closing team this year.
And I think part of that, or a lot of it, to be honest with you, is it just young guard play. Not an excuse, it's just the reality this season. And however, DJ Jackson, who is one of those young guards, has been terrific here in the second half.
Into the lane, and that time ORU gets a stop on the drive by James Holden. Haven't scored in a while.
Haven't been able to get a touch into Damon Bell Holter in the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, they're fronting him with Holben right now, who's athletic with a long wingspan. Shot clock approaching 10. Glover for Niles. Bell Holter got behind the defender, and he's hacked on the way up by Bryson White. He was getting ready to flush it. And Damon will go to the line. ORU hasn't scored a field goal in nearly 4 minutes. 10:31 the last time they put one through.
And you mentioned how Northwestern State has been fronting. Bell Holter did a good thing there, Bob. he brought the defender outside the paint, and the defender didn't make the adjustment. You want to get half man around. As you get that far out on the floor, he doesn't make an adjustment. It provided all kinds of passing opportunity on that backside.
Strange night. ORU shooting 50% from the floor. Beyond that, beyond the arc, but yet only 7 of 16 at the line. Still leading by 3 despite all that. Holman, good stop by Bell Holter. Not easy to do when you're playing with 3 fouls. Great block, Conley. That's what you call some weak side help there. In transition, Glover, Bell Holter, he'll go back to the line. Damon Bell Holter might make it to 20 rebounds tonight. That's number 17.
Tell you what, he is doing it in the half-court set, right there, board play in transition.
That's 4 team fouls, or rather 4 personals on Marvin Frazier. So Damon has tied his career high with 17 rebounds. Now he's got his 4th 20-point game of the year. And in 3 conference games, he scored 35, 26, and 20. And there still is plenty of time left in this one. What a night. 21 points, 17 boards. ORU by 5. Very emotional week here. You know who the Eagles have on their mind as they try to win this game. And there's rebound number 18 for Damon.
Good defensive possession right there. Again, Oral Roberts getting stops now because they're getting Northwestern State in half-court offensive situations.
I tell you, this is the best rebounding I've seen in the Sooner State since a guy named Griffin played 120 miles from here. This is some kind of board work by this ORU Eagle, Bell Holter. He'll distribute. Right wing Niles. And he's got a couple of assists.
Boy, that was a tough shot too, Bob. You see the angle? He was really tight along that baseline. He had to be careful not to hit the backboard.
Yeah.
Just precision shooting right there. Tough angle.
The beauty of this is, if they worry about Bell Holter, you've got one of the best scorers in the nation out there in Warren Niles. From the left side, they miss another 3. DJ Jackson after the Brandon Conley rebound. They're going to double team and mug him at midcourt, and he got away from it. Scott Sutton saw the possession in jeopardy, and he called the timeout.
Which means here come the mini basketball.
That makes it a full timeout. ORU with some momentum. Bell Holter and Niles getting it done. Eagles by 7. Great stuff by Niles. The bad angle shot you talked about. And ORU with Niles getting hot now, forging a 7-point lead, just 5 minutes to go.
And with the basketball right here, Scott Sutton calling timeout, wanting to slow the pace down just a touch, trying to screw down the game a little bit. A little over 5 minutes left. Obviously in the timeout, drawing up an offensive play, I would suspect, with the emphasis of getting the touch to Bell Holter inside. I'm sure he also talked about, Bob, taking care of the ball and getting defensive stops. I mean, when you have a 7-point lead with 5 minutes left, you don't want to put on the brakes, but you have to be sound in all phases of the game.
They're playing a team that's only had 7 turnovers tonight. But ORU, you can make up for that with good shooting, 51%, and they're 6 of 11 beyond the arc. 23 second chance points tonight. Shot clock, plenty of time, just now at 15. Jackson off a pick by Conley. Jackson getting penetration. How did that pass get through there? 23 for Bell-Holter. What a pass. Bad angle, air ball. Impossible to rebound except for a guy on the other end. Daquan Hicks with 14 points. 70-63 ORU. Their biggest lead since they started the game, 8-0.
And here you have to show patience, handle it with strength out front, trying to combat that pressure.
That's a reach around foul. If they hadn't called it, might have been a turnover. This is the biggest rebounding scoring game for a big man in this building since 04, when Caleb Green had 29 points, 22 boards against Southern Utah.
That's pretty good company right there.
Oh, I'm telling you, there are still some coaches who coached in this state, and I'm using the past tense, kicking themselves for not recruiting Caleb Green. He and Ken Tutt were amazing around here.
Yeah, Caleb Green and Ken Tutt were both guys that were under-recruited.
Overachieved.
Yeah, absolutely. And because of size, Caleb Green only went about 6'6", maybe in his shoes. But one of the best rebounding and scoring players in the country. And that includes Power 6 conference players. He was an unbelievable player, All-American here.
Caleb had 2,503 points, 1,189 rebounds, and Ken Tutt hit 319 threes. Third best ever at ORU. Here we go, under 4 minutes to go. Eagles by 9. What a second half. The dump down. Had to get rid of it. ORU putting the stops to Daquan Hicks, who got himself out of control. Conley slow getting up at the other end, and the officials will blow a mercy whistle here. He tried to get up and come down the floor, but he's hobbled. The Eagles can't afford any more injuries right now with the likes of Jordan Kaufman out, Stephen Roundtree with that left ankle and foot. So that'll get us to the 4-minute media timeout. It takes place at the 3:44 mark, and ORU enjoying its biggest lead of the night. Well, the Eagles playing some great basketball. That might be the pass of the night right there, threading the needle.
Went through 3 defenders. But apropos, because you have Bell-Holter finishing with the big night he's had so far. And then DJ Jackson, the second half he has had as the floor general, the young freshman playing big with 3-point shots and making offensive plays for his teammates like that one.
And his 6th assist of the night was with surgical precision. That was really something. So 3:44 to go. ORU by 9. Mike McConaughey doesn't have the pace in this game that he likes. You taught me that during the commercial break, and it's a great call because once ORU's been able to slug it away with them, that really takes away their A game.
Absolutely. And this was a situation where ORU didn't want to put on the brakes, but Scott Sutton did want to slow things down, and they were unable to get that accomplished until here the last few minutes. And it's obviously been advantageous for them.
Bell-Holter fouled on the way up. That's the only way they can stop him tonight. Shamir Davis. This game has been a game of runs for the Eagles. 8-2 to close out the first half. 10-2 in the first 8 to 10 minutes of the second half. And now lately in the last 4 minutes, a 9-2 run. Damon Bell-Holter, 24 points. And I would say he's making a bid for being Conference Player of the Week again after being named that last week in the wins at Southeastern Louisiana and at Nicholls State.
He's positioning himself right now. It's early, but as the early candidate for Player of the Year in the Southland Conference, he's been outstanding.
And again, a biggest lead for ORU. Little contact there from Conley against Daquan Hicks, who I saw get the arm out there a bit, but the call will go against the defensive player. 3:26 to go.
You have to be careful. You don't want to get comfortable by any means. With 11-point lead against this basketball team, plenty of time with the way they put runs on you.
Oh yeah.
To let them back in this basketball game.
74-63, ORU's biggest lead. As a team, they shoot 68% at the line, not that great. Rebound, Glover. And the great thing about them missing a free throw, there goes the full court defense.
That's a great point. That's just as important, them not scoring, as not allowing them to set up their full court pressure, which has given Oral Roberts trouble a lot of the evening.
Ball's going to be in the hands of Warren Niles and DJ Jackson a lot for these last 3 minutes. Conley looking high-low for Bell-Holter. Shot clock at 10. Jackson starts his dribble. Waits for a bit of a clear out to his right. He'll go left instead. A lot of traffic. Damon Bell-Holter got another offensive rebound, and the ball evidently never got to the iron. In fact, that whistle actually helped ORU a little bit. It put the stop to a Northwestern State fast break. Everything going ORU's way right now.
And ORU doesn't score there, but that's okay because you get 35 seconds negated from the game clock. That's just as good as a bucket.
Big rebounding advantage for ORU tonight, 41-22. Get these guys in a half-court game. It takes a while. Tough shot. They miss. Daquan Hicks got the rebound, and he was fouled. Brandon Connolly, that's his third. Any whistle is okay as long as it's not number 4 against Damon Bell-Holter. And he may be beyond the danger time anyway with just 3 fouls this late. Great job of managing his big man's night by Scott Sutton, by Sean, Cayenne, Wade Mason, all the guys on the bench who keep head coaches aware of everything.
And I tell you what, Scott Sutton's always had a great staff here, but because of the circumstances with Scott and Sean's mother here the last couple of weeks, what a great job they did preparing this team for the Louisiana trip, and then also this week, because obviously Scott and Sean were where they needed to be with their family. But the staff, had to step up and make sure that these guys, these players were prepared with heavy hearts to be ready.
By the way, I did notice, and there's a steal. They don't knock down the shot, and here's Niles with it. ORU by 9, got the ball away. Timeout, Scott Sutton. By the way, I did notice tonight that Eddie Sutton did not come out for the second half to watch the game. Eddie was here for the entire first half. With such a wonderful lady being lost to Eddie, Sean, Scott, all of us, Steve, just no telling how difficult this is for them. Now, Northwestern State has won 4 in a row, or are you trying to make it 3 in a row? And anytime you're at the start of conference play, that's a real good thing.
And this is a pivotal game, more so for Oral Roberts than Northwestern State, because
that's Eddie's seat, by the way.
It's his seat right there. You got to protect the home floor, first and foremost. But because, as you've said a couple times, Bob, and I agree, these are 2 of the top 3 teams in this league, the other being Stephen F. Austin.
By the way, Damon Bell-Holter, 20 rebounds now, a Southland Conference high this year by anybody.
Well, he's been tremendous. but it's not over yet.
No, not by any means. 3-possession game, 2.5 minutes to go. Again, ball's going to be in the hands of Warren Niles a lot. They get a tip away, but then he tips it to DJ Jackson, weaves his way around, finds Connolly, and finds Niles. Take this possession down under 2 minutes if you can, if you're ORU. Beholter hands it off. Glover. Thought Damon was going to get another assist. Glover up strong again. Short-armed it. Then he gets the foul. I thought Sean might throw the ball back out on the perimeter because they got a new shot clock out of that.
Absolutely. And you got to understand at this point how precious an offensive rebound is. You don't need points at this particular part of the game. You need seconds to tick off that clock. That's way more important. And not only does he makes a great play to get the rebound, Bob, but not only does he not get it out, but then he makes a second mistake and commits the foul, stops the clock, and allows points potentially to go on the board.
Whistle down at the other end. They're still cleaning the floor off after that rugby scrum a moment ago. James Holben is only a 58% free throw shooter. Tonight, the Demons at the line, 7 of 8. And they're still cleaning up the floor down at the other end. So a little help from the floor crew here, maybe icing the shooter a bit. They're down by 9 with 1:58 to go. Holben rolls it in. 14th point of the night for the 6'8 senior from Booker T in Shreveport.
And if they make this free throw, ORU needs to take their time, Bob, getting set up in their press break.
He missed it. They get the offensive rebound. Boy, it looked like Beholter long enough for a held ball there. And then there's going to be another foul on ORU. Ball spending a lot of time at that end. That'll be number 4 on Brandon Conley. Only 6 seconds came off the clock.
They're just going to keep pounding the boards. You have to be disciplined. Turn and block Northwestern State offensive players to keep them off the glass. Here's the end result of an offensive rebound off the free throw. There's a foul, clock gets stopped, and points go on the board and a chance now to set up that pressure, as I said.
West makes both. So that basically turns into a 3-point play for them, getting it from 9 to 6. 74-68.
Got to run your press breaker, flash hard, make hard cuts, and make good passes out of double teams.
That's a kick by O.J. Evans. Ahead to Glover, same play. Evans almost kicked that one. Mikey Mangum switches to the near side, leaves it for Jackson. Ooh, ORU just does clear the timeline. A chance to take it down to 1:10 or so on this possession. DJ Jackson, Sean Glover. Mangum is open. That ball, oh my gosh, I think we're going to have an overrule here. A call was made for Northwestern State. Everybody on the ORU bench saw it the other way. And Brent Moe, the official on the far sideline, came in to overrule Andrew Walton. ORU, 2 seconds on the shot clock, though.
Yeah, that was definitely the right call. Coach McConaughey doesn't give much argument, which would lead you to believe that he saw the same thing.
Oh, now this is good for ORU. They've refired the shot clock. It's a fresh 35 and not 2 seconds.
Yeah, I thought, did Mangum's shot not catch?
No, it hit the rim. Northwestern State with a timeout. You watch it. It got some iron right there.
Yeah, not much of it. And a piece of an iron, the iron that doesn't get touched very much. But it did nonetheless. That's a big play for both teams. Momentum shift either way could have happened there.
So a new shot clock, a very precious thing for the Eagles. Scott Sutton, by the way, has used 3 of his 5 timeouts. Mike McConaughey just used his second. And a minute 18 to go here with ORU on top, 74-68, and a chance right in front of them to go 3-0 in conference play.
And on this underneath out of bounds play, underneath your own bucket, Oral Roberts cannot take for granted getting this basketball in. That's the priority. So you have to execute out of this.
That's why I brought up the timeouts. They still have a couple to work with. Even the guy with the cowbell is into this one.
More cowbell.
Yes. 118.
I need more cowbell.
Right now, the Eagles just need to take care of the basketball. Niles, watched by Davis. DJ Jackson. Niles. Shot clock just now to 15 seconds as we get under a minute left in the game. Jackson leaning, driving, and fouled at the last moment. That'll be on Jalen West, his first. And this is huge because anything that goes in here, even if it's only one of these two, makes it a 3-possession game.
And assuming that he at least does that, Bob, you get out of that possession about everything you want. You get 24 ticks off of the clock.
Maybe center falls quiet as DJ Jackson, the freshman, growing up before our very eyes here. You know, that's interesting. He had 11 at Southeast Louisiana. Did not score at Nichols, but he had 6 boards and 5 assists. Now he comes right back with a 12-point night.
And like a lot of freshmen, he's been inconsistent. He's been up and down. But as you said earlier, I think it was very good to say he has grown up a little here tonight.
6 assists to go along with those 12 points. Now 13. ORU by 8 in the final 50 seconds. Demons have to score quickly. It's what they love to do. Tough shot, overshot, rebound, up and in. They call a timeout after the make by Daquan Hicks, and that's 18 for him. This is only their 3rd timeout tonight.
Well, I tell you what, they will just not go away. Relentless on the offensive glass, and their ability, Bob, because this is the way they play, to get a shot up quickly. And so therefore, continuing to be able to shorten up this basketball game. Quick shots, quick opportunities. You mentioned that Coach McConaughey has kept his stable of timeouts, still has 2 left. So they've been able to stretch out this basketball game, even after being down double figures just a couple minutes ago.
ORU had them down by 11 at 2 minutes to go. 44.4 left here. And a reminder, if you want to see some really intense conference basketball, come on out to the Mabee Center Saturday night, 7:30. Stephen F. Austin here. They are impressive. In fact, they're the last 2 non-conference teams to win in Norman, Oklahoma over the last 5 years. Niles, Glover, Jackson. Long pass. Mangum. Dumps it. Glover kept his wits about him, scores the basketball. 17 for Sean, and ORU by 8 in the final 30 seconds. Knifing his way at the other end, Shamir Davis, and another timeout by Mike McConaughey.
Scott Sutton just shaking his head over there. Again, way too easy. I mean, sometimes it's human nature for these players defensive when you have a lead and you don't want to foul, but you still got to defend and protect the rim.
Yeah.
You can't make it that easy. And Northwestern State's still enough time with a little bit of luck to pull it off, or you're not going to have to get the basketball inbounds safely here.
Well, the one good thing about it, you're making them score while the clock is moving. So a 2-possession game again, 26.2 to go. By the way, in the second half, the 3-ball has deserted the Demons. They've only taken 4 of them after taking 10 in the first half, making 5. They're 1 for 4 since halftime beyond the arc.
You'll notice they have Warren Niles at half court and Damon Bell-Holter at half court. Both your two best guys on the floor in terms of size, flashing to the ball. See, they're going to run opposite and try to get it to Niles, also a good free throw shooter.
Bounce pass into DJ Jackson, immediately hugged by Shamir Davis, his 4th foul.
Number 3, Shamir Davis. That is his
Free throw line has not been great for ORU tonight, only 16 of 25, but
free throw line to shoot 2.
they have made 11 of their last 12. So the trend is good. That's huge. 3-possession game again. What a night for DJ Jackson, his best conference game so far. It's his 3rd double-figure game. He had 11 against St. Greg's. He had 11 at Southeastern Louisiana. And 14 tonight.
And I'd right here, as quick as they get up the floor, I'd get Bell-Holter and Conley back now that you're up 3 possessions. They get up and down the floor so quickly.
Taking care of business at the line right now. 25 seconds to go, 3-possession game. Gary Stewart has checked in. He'll be at the bottom of your screen in a moment. Little out of control there. Shamir Davis lost it. Niles has it. And this will do it for ORU. Fouled and about to go 3-0 in conference play. 8-7 overall on the year. Daquan Hicks. And if that 8-7, folks, does not impress you that much, listen to who ORU has played. At UTEP, Loyola Marymount, Charlotte, Oklahoma, Arizona, Tulsa, at Memphis. Scott Sutton plays one of the toughest schedules of the year, and he does it because he has the total backing of his athletic director, Mike Carter. Not easy to find that right combination, Brendan, of which games to play when you know you might take some lumps on the road. This is only the 4th home game this team has played this year.
And historically, as you know, they've knocked off tons of Power 6 conference teams over the years.
KU comes to mind.
Yeah, and obviously they could schedule more wins and he could pad his wins and loss records, but he always feels like he prepares his team for what's the most important, like tonight.
Jalen West scores, and a final timeout taken by Mike McConaughey. He's used 4 of his last 5 timeouts in the last 1 minute and 10 seconds.
They've done a good job of stretching this out, but Oral Roberts having that 11-point lead made it really impossible to overcome.
Back to the Maybe Center in a moment. ORU 8 seconds away from a W. Well, they're trying to drive it to the basket, get those timeouts. That's what Jalen West was able to do there. So 8.3 seconds to go. ORU by 6. As Scott Sutton tries to win his 258th tonight. Get his team over 500 and stay unbeaten in the league. You can run the baseline after a make. And now they can call off the Dogs. The Eagles will dribble it out and win it 80-74. And Brendan, I would imagine in what is a most unusual week here and a very sad week, one of the